So fun fact about Torri, she is very insistent that she is always right and will make bets on just about everything. But I'd say 99% of the time she's actually wrong, and I end up winning a lot of money off of bets that she's incorrectly
Yeah, but
on.
I'm just trying to make money. That's the joke of it.
When have you ever been correct?
I know, but I like to set the standard and make bets to actually make money.
She's just a businesswoman, really.
Making money move.
Let's roll the intro. That was coordinated. That was a coordinated intro. I wasn't expecting that.
Love that for us. Welcome back to Poddy Talk,
the podcast where we shit talk ourselves. I'm Jack.
And I'm Tor.
And today we're going to do a quiz together.
Yeah, we're going to do it a little different today because this is a way to really get to know each other, for our audience to get to know us.
Or on the flip side, are we just running out of ideas and we just need to use a quiz now?
Oh no, I don't think that's the case. I really think that quizzes are a great way to get to know people.
Okay, so I actually remember we kind of did this quiz. I'd say, was it a year and a half ago? It was the day of the royal wedding, I remember.
Yeah, it was the day of the royal wedding. We were staying downtown at one of the nice hotels because they were hosting us to watch the wedding there.
Which was the most epic night.
So epic, but you had heard of this game, and it was actually so lovely. I felt like we really got to know each other.
Yeah, it's really fun. So I remember coming across this article in, is it the New York Times?
It's the New York Times, yeah.
And it was basically like 36 questions. 36 questions. I guess I should know my facts before I say it. 36 questions that lead to love or friendship or building a stronger relationship. So I was like, Torri, our relationship is not strong enough. Let's make it stronger.
So here we are, making it stronger.
We're back.
And it's interesting because we obviously haven't played this in a while, so maybe our answers will be different.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's a really good way to it's a bunch of open-ended questions that I feel like you wouldn't come across otherwise. So
it's great.
I'm excited.
Okay, number 1, Jaclyn. Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest? I can't speak. Who would you want as a dinner guest?
Oh, a dinner guest. Is it dead or alive?
Dead or alive.
Dead or alive. I feel like this is my answer for everything, but like Michelle Obama.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I just feel like she knows how to have fun and would be entertaining, but also is so educated, and I would just love to pick her brain about so many different topics.
Fair enough.
And she's just a very strong female. I'm very inspired by her.
Love that.
Okay, on the flip side, what about you? Who would you take to dinner?
I have many people that I would love to take to dinner.
You've only got one.
I know, but I guess if I had one and it was just dinner, I would say Matt Damon. And the only
reason... Are you trying to finesse? Why
No,
him?
no. More actually not to do with his career now and much more to how it began. I really love the movie Good Will Hunting.
I don't even think I've seen that.
Oh,
I'm the worst with movies.
Iconic movie, and it still stands in my mind as one of the best films. And him and Ben Affleck wrote the screenplay together as friends, won the Oscar for it, and I would love to know that process, being that young creative and how they work together as partners, and just kind of pick his brain. I don't know later in his career that he's the most, exciting.
I hope he never hears this podcast.
Or the most exciting option. There's other women and many other people.
Sure.
But I really am always curious about how the beginnings of a career. And so he's someone that stands out to me. And I saw the film on Netflix. That it was on Netflix last night, so it was top of mind for me too.
It's such a specific person.
It is random,
I'm confused how you would get there.
So that's how I got there.
But
anyways,
that, though.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take Michelle, you take Matt.
And we'll just see.
We'll circle back after.
Okay, would you like to be famous, and in what way?
Okay, this is an interesting question because I feel like there's so many negative connotations around the word famous, but I also feel like with what I want to do in life, I want to have influence, I guess, on people in a positive way and impact people.
Right.
So I think it's kind of I don't want to say part of what will come with the job, but I'm aware that with what I want to do and being in the entertainment industry, that's part of it. So it's not necessarily that's the goal that I'm setting out to do, but I'm also not naive in the sense that it's that's not a part of
fair enough.
the public job that I've chosen.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, fully. Yeah. No, I'm looking to be famous. No, I'm kidding. I'm half kidding. I really am very passionate about leaving a legacy when I go, whenever that may be. And I think that a part of that is, putting myself out there and not being afraid of public opinion and not letting that scare you, living your life and not thinking that people will fully influence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've never been afraid to be famous. I've also never pursued it in the way that I'm trying to be famous.
Yeah.
But I do think that all of my passions, similar to you, will hopefully lead to that legacy.
It just feels like a gross word. I hate the word, I guess.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's like such a weird thing, but no, I
and I'm not talking
agree.
like Kim Kardashian famous. I think that brings a lot of pressure. Yeah. But I think being known and having a little bit of pull is not the worst thing in the world.
Oh, no, not against it at all. But no, I agree. And I think there's, again, maybe it's just that like actual word famous that I get caught up on. But again, with anything that I do in life, I'm such a people person. I want to impact people in a great way. And like, is having an impact equating to famous, or people knowing like what even is fame?
Yeah. No, I'm obviously half kidding. Like, you know, like I just think if you're working towards something in the entertainment industry, like you said, you have to be aware that that might come along with
it.
It
actually used to annoy me a lot. So as a kid, like I started acting when I was like 6 years old, and I really didn't even understand it. I don't think at the time. I remember I saw a Skip It commercial. Do you remember Skip It's? Those like things that would go around your ankles.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing it. And I was like, Mom, how do those kids get to be on TV? Like, I was playing with a Skip It last week. Like, why aren't I on the TV? And I thought they genuinely would just walk around. Like, a camera crew would walk around. They would just find a group of kids and record it. And that's how commercials happen. My mom was like, no, Jaclyn, like, you need to get an agent. They're actually actors. I'm like, oh, they're not, like, just regular kids. Like, I didn't get it. And I was like, Mom, I want to do that. And she's like, no. Eventually, so I started acting. And my mom always used to say, kind of in a joking way, like, oh, Jaclyn, yeah, I know, you just want to be famous. And that used to make me so mad as a kid. I'm like, but Mom, no, like, I want to do the acting. And, like, it's not just for the... So I used to always...
It's not for the clout.
Yeah, but it's also like...
I think if you get into this industry with that in mind, you're burn out, fully in it for the wrong reasons. Yeah.
And I think you can tell it's interesting. You meet some people in life and you're like, oh, okay.
You can just tell that that's the intention, and it feels really fake, and like, and there's no longevity to that.
I guess there's a difference between just wanting to be famous or having people know your name, and there's a difference between being famous for what you're doing. And I guess it's the latter that I'm more interested in.
Exactly. Being known and appreciated for the work that you contribute. Yes. I agree.
Okay, good answer, guys. I'm proud of us.
Number 3, before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say
and why?
Yo, I've been suffering from telephobia.
This is when I knew we would be friends. Yeah. When you told me you experienced this as well.
Yeah.
I feel like we're both very outwardly...
extroverted people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I have to make a phone call my doctors, call my dermatologist, anyone, I'm like... I'm getting better.
I don't know what it is. Yeah. I can say now, wholeheartedly, it gives me way less anxiety than when I was a kid. Like, I can handle it now. But no, from the age of probably 8 till 14, suffered from major telephobia. And even my parents can attest this. Like, this is something that was very known in the family. If I, for example...
Don't call Torri. Don't call her.
There was, like, this like, shoe store at Yonge and Eglinton. And I remember being in maybe, like, grade 7 and saying to my mom, you know, I really want to get these Uggs. And I'd been saving up for these Uggs. And my mom said, okay, Torri, if you want the shoes... you have to call and see if they have the size 5, because we didn't live close to the area. Right. So she's like, if we're going to go drive and get them, then you're going to make sure they have a size 5, and we're going to make sure that they're already there. But I'm not going to call for you. You have to call. I cried just in my bedroom. I was like, forget the fucking Uggs. Honestly, like, I'm over it. Like, I don't even care. I wasn't even willing to make the concession of calling because that's how much anxiety it gave me. Then finally she realized, like, it was clearly overtaking my life. So I never actually saw anyone for it. Like, I probably should have maybe spoken to someone.
Should have dealt and unpacked that a little bit.
Maybe, but I think as I've gotten older, I've just naturally not cared as much.
Yeah.
But even to this day, if I have a big corporate call or if I have any client call, I will always write out my notes. I'll always have a notepad with me.
No, being prepared is one thing.
Yeah, but I think I still take it to a different level. You know what I mean?
Like, hi, my name is Torri Webster.
But I do think there's a difference between being prepared and having the anxiety with it.
Sure.
Whereas it's funny because I would way, way, way rather have an in-person meeting scheduled with like 50 clients where I could present as opposed to calling in on a conference call. I don't know what it is. Telephobia is real. I hate it.
I think it's that you have no face. Like, it is a little daunting. But also, I would argue when I was younger, beyond my telephobia, which I think I have outgrown, it was small interactions that I would get stressed out about. There's this place back in my hometown. I came from a really small town, and it was called the Balloonery, which was like kind of like a Blockbuster, but like the local small town version of it. And when we would return the DVDs, I must have been like, 7, 8, I was young, and my mom would like make me go run in, like she'd wait outside and tell me to go run in and drop it off. And if there was like the person in there and I have to just be like, oh, I'm just returning the movie, like that would stress me out. So I would like go beg my brother to do it. And then like little interactions like that would always kind of like what if I say that, like, I don't know, I would overthink it, which is so weird.
Yeah, it's strange. change. I don't know. I don't know. I agree.
The formality of like situations like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, glad we moved beyond that.
Guys, we've harnessed the telephobia. We no longer suffer, thank God.
Yeah, look at us now talking on a podcast to a bunch of faceless people.
Yeah, we're
the commercial poster for overcoming your telephobia.
All right, Jack, number 4. What would constitute a perfect day for you?
Ooh, okay. Perfect day in dream world. I'm waking up at like 7:30. I need to have a good day and start off on the right foot. I don't want to sleep in. I'm going to have a beautiful at-home vegan chef prepare me a stunning assortment and spread of maybe like a beautiful vegan cream cheese with a bagel, maybe a little oatmeal for a little option, of course, a piece of toast, a good carb moment, some fresh fruit sliced up stunning, and like some green juice, a beautiful meal. Then I would go for a bike ride with a friend, maybe not Torri because I've seen a little too much of her lately, but a new friend. And I'm kidding, you can come on the bike ride. And
I don't want to come.
I don't want to come anyways. Go for a bike ride, go to Toronto Island, be outdoors, maybe learn how to take up a new skill. Maybe I'll learn how to, play badminton. I don't know. Yeah. Then I would come home. I would bake.
Love.
Maybe do a little painting in between as the cake is baking or something. And yoga at night. A great bubble bath. Of course, I've got to do a face mask. And then I'm in bed by 10 o'clock watching YouTube for a few hours, watching some fail videos, then pass out by 12.
Wow. Love that for you.
What about you?
Well, I believe I would start my day around 6 a.m. I would get up early. I would do a morning yoga with the sunrise. Then I would head to the airport. I would go and take a nice plane to the Hamptons.
Oh, just for the day.
And maybe do a really nice, lovely brunch with friends and maybe Adam and do a little wine tasting. And then maybe, like do a little movie out in the stars. Like, the like nice, like...
If like a projector and you're in blankets.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
good. Like buttery popcorn. And then take the, the little flight home and then go to bed.
Hit the hay and you're out. And then you'd be watching Gossip Girl.
And then I'd be watching Gossip Girl right as I'm falling asleep.
And she passes out. Oh, I should have saved that for a fun fact. You pass out so quickly at night.
I do. That was great. Love our perfect
Yeah, I wish we were doing that today.
I know.
All of the above.
Number 5. When did you last sing to yourself or to someone else?
5 minutes ago.
Yes,
I'm singing all the time. I've got a horrible...
We sing together.
Yeah, you've got a good voice, so that's the difference. I don't have a good voice, so it's unfortunate if you're within, like, audible range, but...
when we were picking up garbage over the weekend, one of our friends at one point did join in with us, and then she was like, oh, you guys sing a lot together. Like, we didn't even realize we were doing it. We were singing Lainey.
Oh, we were. And, like, one person will just start humming, and the other person will start, like harmonizing, and then it gradually just gets louder.
Yeah, this is a bad question for us. We're, like, the most musically, like,
every day, bro. Oh my God.
I love that. Okay, if you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either mind or body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you want?
Hit me with that body. No, obviously I'd say mind. Like,
honestly, so you're aligned with having a really hot body.
You're a pile of mush in the brain, but you've got like a 6-pack, and you're like, that's right. Yeah, no, obviously. I mean,
I know
saying the other
question.
one.
Yeah,
like how empty of a human are you? If you're like the body.
Oh, that's so sad.
No, of course the brain.
Yes, agreed.
Wow, are you scared of getting older?
I think there's something really fabulous about being older.
I'm not scared of aging, but like maybe I'm scared of the future.
I don't know that I am, actually. I guess I'm more afraid of like what I'll lose in the future, not what I'll gain.
In terms of body,
in terms of like family.
Oh,
like yeah, like not in terms of what I have, just in terms of like I'm way more afraid of getting older on my end because I don't want the people that I love to get older. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sad. Move on to the next question.
Yeah. Okay, do you have a hunch about how you will die? This is such a Jaclyn Forbes.
I almost don't want to, like, say it on the pod. Like, it makes it too real. Like, I don't want to manifest it, but I'm going to say it anyways.
Yeah.
So, I've always had a hunch, and it sounds so, like, I don't want to die. I'm going to put that out there. I don't want to die.
I'm going to put that out there.
Anytime soon. Like, I want to live a full life. I have so many dreams. I have so many plans for the future.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to go early. But I've always had a weird hunch, even since I was younger, that I would die young. Oh my God, my mom's gonna be so sad. My mom actually cries when I talk about this because, like, it's sad. I mean, I don't want to say it, but I've always had a weird hunch that I'm gonna, like, in a weird, tragic, Oh my God, this is so sad. I'm not trying to. Either that or the contrary. I think I'm going to live to like 115 and like be some crazy, like alarmingly, like the oldest person in the world. Yeah.
The witch.
I don't know, but
that is
I have a joke that I'm going to get hit by the 504 cherry on the streetcar in Toronto. And it's going to be like, 504 cherry.
And then
doors
Jaclyn
will
is gone.
open. And I'm like, and like I'm done by the 504 cherry. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen.
Stop.
But that's like maybe it's more of a fear than like a hunch.
Right. But
yeah.
Fair.
Okay. What's yours? Do you think you're gonna pass young?
No, I don't. I've never thought I would pass away young. Although I would say like my fear of death, or like the thing that I picture as my fear of death, is a car accident.
Oh yeah.
You know, like that's how I like picture my worst version of dying.
That's so scary. I used to be so scared to drive just because and also because you're not necessarily always in control.
Exactly.
If someone else is being a chaotic driver, then that is now you're affected by that.
I know. Yeah, I hate that. So anyways.
Can we move on? These are really sad.
These are sad. I wanted funny questions.
Yeah, this is too serious.
Okay, name 3 things you and your friend appear to have in common. Oh, we definitely have things in common.
Okay, like personality-wise.
Yeah.
Or just being.
I would say, like, what do you mean being? What's the difference? Personality and,
I mean,
like, visually?
Maybe. Okay, we appear to have
maybe be sisters, maybe.
Maybe, like long-lost cousins or something. Yeah. Things that we have in common. Blue eyes.
Oh my God.
Are these too simple?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, work ethic. Like, I think that's something we have in common.
Oh, you know what I was going to say?
What? Tell me.
I don't know if you're going to make me cut this out.
Okay.
I don't know if your contract is up with them yet.
Oh, who? Oh. She's being a shit disturber. We're not, for people on YouTube, I'll let you interpret that as you will if you're watching the video version.
Okay.
But if you're hearing this on the podcast,
they're never gonna know.
You'll never know. But
I've been saying this from the beginning. There is value to watching the video version of this podcast.
There is. But it's fine. So anyways, yeah, I was saying work ethic because I feel like you're someone in my life and we're similar in age, but it's rare that you meet someone as driven. Not saying, oh, we're so driven, but it's like...
Yeah, we're just patting ourselves on the back.
No, but I really think that we're passionate about what we do, and that's something that we have in common.
Yeah, and we follow through, and I agree.
Another one I would say would be, like, our closeness with our families. Like, I think you and I are both, like, very family forward and, like, put a lot of pressure on our relationships, whether that's mom, dad, sibling, cousins.
I feel like we had very similar like upbringings in terms of our family life, and I think that we're like we recall so many stories from our childhood.
Totally,
like we did the same thing, or that's how our dynamic works, and whatever. I think another thing that we have in common. Oh, what was I going to say? I just had something.
Another one is our ability to. I'm just taking the lead on this. Our ability to have a good time. I think for people that like always make the best of shitty situations.
True.
Like if we're in the worst day, somehow we're like peeing ourselves laughing because it's so fun. Like we're able to laugh.
We can definitely like find the humor in everything, and I think you are like definitely the life of the party. Yo, every episode, turn off your phone.
I'm sorry,
you're crazy. You're definitely the life of the party. I think you are I think you are more than I am, but you bring it out in me, and I think when we're together, like we kind of thrive in that situation.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that we're both kind of bossy, but I don't mean that in a bad way.
No, we are.
We're very like, I guess, like dominant and assertive, and like
we have our opinions and we think that everyone else is wrong.
My way is correct, but we also, I think, love to debate and love to be challenged.
It's true,
and like I love when you disagree with me because I'm like, yeah, really, you want to go? Let's try. Like,
it's nice.
It's a fun challenge,
and I think we also don't take each other too seriously. Like we're the type of friends that can like shit on each other, and you're not like, oh my god, like my feelings are so hurt.
No, and then we move so rude. No, of course.
It's like I don't like the super like. I don't want to have soft humans that like you just are always overcompensating for their feelings. Like I like that we can just like.
Well, I think there's certain levels to a friendship. It's like when you're like a new friend and you're like all like so like
but it's funny. Even when we first met, we weren't like that. We were like always kind of mean to each other, which I really appreciate.
I don't ever want to feel like I have to walk around eggshells with like one of my best friends.
It's so true.
That's funny.
Okay, for what in your life do you feel most grateful?
Oh, I'm like a very big person on gratitude. I do my gratefulness journal every day. This is like so overarching and like gets everything, but honestly, just like my life and
you can't say that.
I can't.
No. You have to choose like one thing. It's not saying you're not grateful for the other things, but it's just being a little more like specific.
I would say, honestly, probably, like, the people in my life right now. Like, I feel like right now I've never had more solid friendships, relationships, people, like, in my family. Like, everything, I just feel so supportive and, like, truly loved by everyone in my life right now. And I feel like I've got some great friends.
That's awesome.
And I think having those types of friendships can be very hard to find and can take people their whole lives. But, like, I know that I've got a lot of lifers on my side right now, so I feel lucky about that.
Yeah, that's so true.
What about you? What are you most grateful for?
I guess in this moment specifically, I would say my health. I feel like...
God, I thought you were just going to say my hair. And I was like, Torri.
Oh my God.
My hair looks so...
It's blonde. Really hard to get it to this level. Jason Lee, my hairstylist, really pulled through.
Oh my God. Okay, sorry. Your health.
Yeah, I would say my health only because I think we forget that not everyone is as, like, able as we are or, like, have these opportunities to train for marathons.
Stop bringing it up. We promised ourselves we weren't going to say that anymore.
But I guess, like, to that point, like, I've been pushing myself physically a lot more lately and, like, doing things that I wouldn't necessarily be doing. And it's really nice to be able to rely on my body and feel able and healthy to do those things while also drinking so much wine and being 22 and letting it just seep into my soul.
Balance. We always say it.
We love balance. So, yeah.
That's sweet. I like that. I think, yeah, that's really important. It's one of those things that I think when you have it, some people don't necessarily appreciate it, like they take it for granted, and then if you lose
like if I were to sprain my ankle next week, it would, like, or even break my ankle, it would be like the worst thing. So I'm grateful that I'm in good health.
We're very lucky.
Okay, number 10. If you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be?
Oh, I'm so one of those people that's like, life is a domino effect. If you were to change one thing, it would totally change
I
where
agree.
you are
It's
now.
Like the butterfly.
But if we could, whatever, in this perfect world, say that you're still in the same spot you are today, but, like, just change one thing. The way that I was raised, I feel like I don't want to, like, bash my parents or anything.
I know.
I would say, okay, I don't know if this is necessarily to how I was raised or if it's just something, like, inherent in my DNA, but I've always, since I was a young child, like, felt the need to perform at, like, a very high standard and, like, this level of, like, perfectionism, which I feel like I'm, like, trying to, like, not be so hard on myself now, but growing up, I was always, like, competing against myself and wanting to be the best version of myself. And it was more, I guess, of a personal thing, and it wasn't, like, my mom would never say, like, it was not from my parents, but I don't know where it necessarily came from, but my whole life, I kind of felt like I was, like, constantly in a race against myself and, like, had to be the best at sports, had to be the best at school, I had to be the best at, like, all these things. And in some ways, I'm grateful that I had that because they obviously, like, pushed me to, like, work hard, and I had, like, a standard for myself, which I do think is important to some degree. But I think mine was, like, hovering on the unhealthy borderline, that I was, like, stressing myself out about some things and, like...
Yeah.
But I don't know. Is that the way you were raised? I don't know. Because, like, my mom or my parents were never the type of people to be like, you must be getting this grade. Like, they were always just like, do your best. But in my head, I'm like, I've got to be the best.
My best is not good enough.
Exactly.
Yeah, interesting.
What about you?
I really think my parents did a phenomenal job.
I mean, look at me.
No, they were, like, really amazing parents. Like, really always, you know, letting all of my siblings and I pursue our passions. Obviously, like, pushing us to do our best, but, like, instead of being down on us where I wasn't good at things, like, for example, mathematics was just never my strong suit. But on the flip side, I was, like, really great at English and really great at presentation and performing and all these other things. And instead of focusing on my weaknesses, they focused on my strengths, and they really pursued those strengths for me and it enabled me to, I think, thrive in my life. So I actually don't know that I would change anything. Maybe
that's a cop-out. You have
maybe
to pick
I would change.
Even...
Maybe I would change the fact that they actually didn't like, push me enough in some of my weaker spots. Like, if I were to take that and flip it on its head, like, maybe my dad should have said, you know, Torri, the fact that you cannot do multiplication on, like, a very simple level is a problem. So and I did have tutors and stuff, but once I got to a certain age, they were like, we're not going to push this anymore.
Right.
And maybe they should have, because, you know,
okay,
I did end up having to take accounting in university, which that was a fucking shit show. Like, not great. So, like, it would have been great if they forced me, I guess, a little further to get good at it. But, I mean,
shout out to our parents. Y'all
out
great
for
people.
Being great.
Thank you.
Okay. If you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be?
Singing or flying. One is not very realistic.
Love that.
I've always said that I wanted to be a singer. Since a young child, I thought I was a performer.
Jaclyn and I have the idea in our head that we could be pop stars. It just hasn't happened yet.
Well, that's the thing. I truly believe that I was meant to be a pop star, like Hannah Montana, some would say, maybe. I think I possess all the same qualities other than the actual vocals, which might be important. So, if I could pick one
nowadays you can dub so much. Who knows?
Yeah, I could just have like a ghost singer.
Yeah,
and like
love that.
Then you could just lip sync and I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love to be a singer. And just, even like, it's like a great, like, you're at a party and you're like, oh, you have a guitar here? Yeah, give that to me. And then like you just sing this beautiful.
It's so
like,
nice, yeah.
Ugh. Anyways, what about you?
I would love to have the ability to hear people speak a language and then learn it. Like on the spot. Like
Duolingo
it would be like, I would be like a translator, but I would be able to always interpret other people's languages.
You know that they have like earpieces that can do that now?
I'd love that.
Have that built in.
So maybe I just need to look at that program because I just think that's so cool. Like when you're traveling and you can just like have these conversations. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Okay. If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know?
Wait, what? Can you say that again?
If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know?
Yourself, your life, or your future?
What would you want to know? It can be broad.
Oh. I don't know if I'd want to know the future because I need to be second guessing all of like your steps. Like, oh, is this the right thing to get me to that thing that they said? Maybe I guess more insight on yourself would be useful. I feel like I'm a fairly self-aware person, but if I could have this like crystal ball tell me, no, this is the way you are, like, I don't know, from an unbiased crystal ball perspective.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd take that. They could tell me something about myself.
Yeah.
What about you? What would you want to do?
I don't know. I think I would maybe want to know how many kids I would have.
Don't you think that you would like be so conscious of that in your everyday then to like...
I guess more than anything, I'd want to know if I was going to have twins. I've had like 5 readings in my life. Like whether that's like palm readings, tea readings, all those things. And basically every single time they tell me that I'm going to have twins, which I would just like someone to confirm that. Because if it's not the case, I wouldn't mind. I'm not saying that that's the future I want. I just find it curious that it's come up in so many conversations.
Right.
So I guess I would just want to know.
It also, I feel like, kind of makes sense for you, though, because isn't, like, the gene pattern with your family and, I mean, your boyfriend's obviously a twin. Like, there's some, like, twin genes.
But I don't know, because usually the women carry... But
Oh.
yeah, that's what's so strange.
You
it's
hear
like,
all these different...
I know, and Adam's a twin. Who knows, right? Like, you don't really know, but I find it curious.
If you ever have twins, we're going to cut down this clip and play this at the hospital.
Guys,
hello, twins.
You've arrived.
Auntie Jack
in
is
the
here.
future. Love that. Okay. Is there something that you've dreamed of doing for a long time, and why haven't you done it?
I've always wanted to be a rapper.
I just think you should reevaluate on that.
I just know that's probably not going to go over well.
No, but I'm saying something you like genuinely in your life that...
Okay, I actually do have a good one. I've been wanting to get back into like an open gym lately and tumble and get back into tumbling. And just like play around on like gymnastics equipment.
Right.
But
yeah, that was a big part of your life.
Yeah, I don't know. And I love tumbling. I'm like, I'll go like and do it on the grass. And that's like the only skill I've retained from like my gymnastics and cheer years. Despite me losing every other physical ability, I have no flexibility, but I can oddly still tumble and flip and do that. But I would love to be back on like spring-loaded floors and like properly be doing it all.
Yeah, because you whip it out drunk on dance floors, but you need to do it in a safe setting.
But I found it so hard to find like a gym in the city that has like that allows random people to come in on like open gym days. So
we should make that happen for you.
But I should. That is something I should do. What about you? What have you been wanting to do but haven't gotten to yet?
I think something that I want to do and haven't done because I'm very much a person of strategy and I won't put something out there unless I'm sure of it, is that I've wanted to create like a new line of my business, whether that's a product or like a different service. And I know I'm sure it will happen. It just, I don't know what that is yet. And I don't want to put something out in the world that's not perfect.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So I know that that's something I want to do, but I'm not there yet. And I'm okay with that. I'm just going through the motions.
Yeah. You'll get there eventually.
What is the greatest accomplishment of your life?
Oh, no. The greatest accomplishment. Okay, you go first. Circle back. I need to think on this.
I would say my greatest accomplishment was my university degree because that was something that I could have skipped over and something that a lot of people kind of like did a side eye because I was already kind of working in the industry and I had already kind of set up a bit of a career for myself and basically took 4 years off to dedicate to, education. So on my graduation day, I think that was one of the proudest moments I had for myself. I had worked really hard. I graduated with distinction, and, you know, shaking all my professors' hands and being there with some of my closest friends and family. It was just, yeah, I would say that was my biggest accomplishment. And it's 4 years. Like, that's a long time to dedicate. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you so much. She tanned me for my grad day.
Oh, I did.
She took the Saint Tropez glove and just went up in it. It was amazing.
I've never seen you more tan. It was a nice even tan.
It was great.
I did a good job for a self-tanner at home. I'm trying to think of my biggest accomplishment. I've always felt very lucky in my life that I feel like I've had like little mini highlight moments throughout, like a bunch of little things that I felt really excited and proud of. But I honestly can't think of like the biggest like overarching one. I guess I would say maybe
last year at the MMVAs was like a big one for you.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say like my YouTube channel and kind of like how
it's kind grown.
Like maybe started my career off of something that was a hobby, and then it's kind of evolved into me getting to host things and do red carpets and do interviews and do all of that. I guess it's one of those things that when you kind of like go through the motions, it feels normal and like happening at a natural progression. But then when you look back, you're like, oh, I guess that was kind of like a big thing. Like, actually, I had a moment after last MMVAs. We were doing the red carpet, like a fashion feed with MTV Fora, and it was honestly one of the best experiences of my life. And I was like on a high that night. Yeah. And then like next 3 days after that, I was like, I fell into this like really weird somber place, and I was like, that might have been the best day of my life. What else is it was such a high and then a little low.
Yeah, no, it's
but true. No, I'd probably say like my career and like all of that. I'm proud of it.
I love that. Number 16, what do you value most in a friendship? I know this for me so quick because I know
yours is loyalty.
Yeah,
I knew you were gonna
loyalty,
say that.
hands down. I do not like when people play around with loyalty and friendship. I like know who your friends are, treat them properly, like don't talk behind their back. If they're actually a close friend of yours, I don't understand how people, I don't know. Loyalty is huge. Yeah. Loyalty is huge for me.
It's very Leo of you. You're such a true Leo. Mine would probably be, what do I value most in a friendship?
I'm glad you know mine, so you can never do me dirty.
I feel like, I don't know if this is specific enough, but kind of just like genuine support.
Yeah, like I think not fake niceties.
Well,
like
I think it's really easy to have certain people in your life, whether it's friendships or just more surface level relationships, where it is a bit more transactional and they're there for a very specific reason, and it's maybe not as pure as what you think or would hope it would be. And I think it's really rare to find a handful of friends or even just like one friend that is truly just supportive of you and what you're doing, and really for no like ill intentions. Like, no, just truly,
like they really want the best for you.
And just because they like love you. Yeah,
I agree.
So, and then I think if you had that, then all those
genuineness,
then you have all those other things, then loyalty comes along with that. Then all of those other ticks that you want
will play in.
Yeah.
Because that person
cares about you. But I think that's really hard to find, because I think,
I
don't know.
People always have their own intentions.
People be shady.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I understand. What is your most treasured memory?
Okay, you need to go first for some of these. I need some time to think.
That's okay. I actually have mine.
Really?
Yeah. So I would say right now in my life, my most treasured memory was actually Torchella last year when we were all out on the trampoline and people were going around the circle telling embarrassing stories about me.
That was so fun.
And it was so pure to have people you love around you laughing about stupid things that I had either done in my life or things that we had done together as friends.
What was Torchella? You should kind of let them know.
Oh, yeah. So Torchella was a surprise birthday party thrown by my friends and my boyfriend, Adam, up at a cottage in Muskoka. So there was, I guess, 14 of us at one point. Yeah, like everyone was kind of rotating in and out. But on one of the days, we were all out on this trampoline on the lake. And then I don't know who prompted it, but one of our friends prompted for everyone to go around the circle and tell embarrassing stories about me. Kind of a roast, which I love.
No, but it was in fun spirit.
And that is such a treasured memory to me, just because it was such a nice, perfect day and everyone was just in such great moods.
That was a great...
It was beautiful. Yeah,
that was good. Okay, if I had to pick my most treasured memory, I have such great memories from my trip to California. It must have been 2 Christmases ago. Normally, every year, my family, like my immediate family, we do a little Malibu getaway. And a few years ago, we actually invited some of my cousins, not all of them, Brooklyn and Pookie. They were a little too young to make it on this trip, but we missed them. But my other cousins, Megan, Michael, and Rachel, they all ended up coming, and it was just ugh, so like we had so many amazing memories. I feel like there's something about like a bond with your cousins.
Yeah.
That it is just the most fun, and like you have so many great memories. And we stayed in Venice for a little bit, and we were just like literally playing on the beach all day, playing volleyball in the water, and like truly just staying up all night playing like Nintendo, giggling, and then we ended up
like just like an innocent time.
Yeah, it just made me feel like I was like a child again, and
I love that.
Oh, I just like love my cousins and my family so much. So probably that.
Yeah. Okay, what is your most terrible memory?
What was the most traumatizing thing that's ever happened to me? Oh, God.
I think that not getting into NYU is one. If we're not talking about like deaths and family, which obviously that takes precedent.
Yeah, more of like a lighthearted, terrible thing.
Personal thing.
Yeah,
it was definitely when I didn't get into New York University for musical theater, which I thought I was good at.
Yeah, you had a little.
Just a great reminder, like for the ego.
Stay humble, kids.
Stay humble.
Yeah.
But it was so shitty at the time. So I would say that was like a really terrible. Like I remember reading the like, we're so sorry and unfortunately, you know. Oh, and it was a rainy, gloomy day. Like, it couldn't have been worse.
Yeah, the whole universe was crying with you.
Yeah.
This is kind of random. This is like something that just popped into my mind. I don't know if this is my most terrible memory.
Yeah.
But I remember literally being miserable on grade 8 grad. And I think I had like this huge self-reflection / internal crisis. And it was...
Did you feel old or what was the...
So I think I just like felt like not good enough in life. Like, so basically, let me give you some context. So it's grade 8 grad. I was already stressed out about the whole idea of like getting a dress, and you have to like do your hair, and like everyone's getting their nails done and their makeup, and it's just like this whole process. And I couldn't find a dress, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money on a dress. And then my mom was trying to help me do my hair, but like we got a new curling wand. She didn't know how to do it, so then the hair looked awful, and then I was sweating, and then I was nervous, and also like after all of that chaos and me just feeling a little overwhelmed, I think it kind of like hit me. I was like, oh, I just felt like I wasn't where I was supposed to be in life, and I felt like underaccomplished, and like just the idea of like elementary school being over made me kind of fall into a bit of a crisis. I feel like that entire summer I was just like a bit like, what's going on in life? Like I'm growing up, and I like went through this weird...
it's a little overwhelming.
Yeah. Weird.
I'm sorry. Glad you're better. If you knew that in 1 year you would die suddenly, what would you change anything about the way you're living now and why?
About death.
I know. I think it's just good to reflect, though.
No, I agree. I think it's important to be like, yo, what are your priorities in life? Yeah. Are you doing what you should be doing? I actually don't think I would change.
I know. I don't think I would either.
Maybe a few years ago I would have said I would change something, but I feel like I've really gotten to a point, where like I am doing exactly what I want to be doing.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get better at having a balance between like the fun things for leisure and even my work. I've never been happier doing what I'm doing.
I think we've even had like privately this conversation recently where it sounds horrible, but like if we were to go, we've been so lucky in our lives, like of what we've already done as friends, done like in our careers. The experiences. So I think, and when you feel that way, I think you naturally live your life your best way because you don't take it for granted. Like you're just, you're lucky to be there. So.
Wow, what a privileged thing to be able to say that we are.
I know.
No, like it's
wonderful. Okay, what does friendship mean to you?
Everything.
I hate you. You know what, though? I've always been a girl's girl. And I know this about myself. I for a very long time in my life, did not date. I didn't have boyfriends in high school. My first boyfriend was Adam in university. And because of that, I put a lot more pressure on my friends than I think most of them did in response to me, because a lot of them had boyfriends, they were putting support in other places. But I expected a lot of my friends because I'm like, you guys are my support system, you guys are kind of my confidants.
Yeah.
And so from a very young age, and even throughout high school and into university, friendships have been a key play in my life. Like, I know a lot of girls that are total guys, girls. They always have a different boyfriend. They're doing their thing, which is amazing. I like, no, there's nothing wrong with that. It was just that wasn't my path. And so I think because of that, friendship actually in many ways means more to me than most relationships. I mean, Adam is obviously special, but
screw Adam.
But those are the people that are there if things were to ever go wrong.
Sure.
And I think that's where like the mistake of like certain women or friends that I've had make these mistakes where their friends really get put on the back burner when these guys come into their life. And I understand, of course, that is going to happen. And as we get older, of course, that's going to happen. But not putting that effort in, not putting that time in with friends, to me is a huge mistake, because those are people that you hope will be there for your whole life and really give you that support when you need it. And you don't know when you're going to need it. So
don't do them dirty.
Be a good friend. Yeah. Be a good friend.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think you really like kind of summed it up. I think I actually think I don't tell the people in my life and my friends actually how important they are in keeping me sane and keeping me, even just like giving me advice and just nourishing my life.
More credit. No,
yeah, Tori. But no, I've always been very reliant, I think, on external people around me to, I don't want to say like to make me happy because that doesn't sound good, but I do really value the people that I'm surrounded by, and they totally have an effect on my well-being. And I don't think I say it enough, but like friends really enhance my life.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What roles do love and affection play in your life?
Currently,
that's hard.
Currently, nothing.
We need to get Jaclyn on a dating app, like stat. Although dating apps are weird.
Yeah.
And not only are dating apps weird, but I think it's really hard when you're someone who already has a career happening and you have all this time placed in something else. It is a little hard. Like, I fell into meeting Adam in university, in a setting where people are partying, where you're meeting new people. It's a little easier. I don't know, like, the best way to meet.
I find it, like, weird in the sense that we were talking about this in a prior episode. Like, I feel like I'm not necessarily at the same stage of my life that everyone else my age is. And or I guess that we're all just at varying degrees. So I find it hard to meet people my age that are just like on a similar path and have a similar lifestyle
or like
to
even
me.
mature enough to like get on board.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What about you?
Oh, huge. I think I'm a better person because of Adam. For sure. I think we influence each other in really positive ways, and we're both very driven. But again, we're lucky. Like, we're really similar. It's the same thing you're talking about. Like, we were and continue to grow together and be on very similar paths in our career and in our passions. So I think it's really lucky, because when you're young and you're able to meet someone like that, I think I don't take him for granted at all, because I know I'm lucky to have him. Sweet, sweet Adam. Okay. So, alternate sharing, something that you consider a positive characteristic of the other person. Share a total of 5 things.
What question number are we on?
We are on 22. So, and actually set 3 begins soon, so we might actually end.
We'll wrap it up then.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up.
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I wasn't listening.
Wow. So, share basically 5 positive things that you like about me.
Oh, this is fun. Yeah. It's like a roses and thorns, but for the other person. Okay, 5 things I love about you.
Yeah.
You definitely are a very uplifting and infectious person, but in a great way. If someone's down, you know how to lift them up. You're such a people person that you understand people and how to get them to be their best selves.
They say, read the room.
Sure. Yeah, I would say that. 2, I would say, I know we just kind of talked about this, but loyalty. You are very, like, ride or die. You will do anything, and I know you would truly take a bullet for anybody in your circle. Yeah. And that's just...
But only if you're in the circle. That's Jaclyn's negative thing. She goes, you're a little exclusive. But that's why I'm exclusive, because if you're not loyal to the people that are in your circle...
I'm not going to waste my time.
Yeah.
No, I agree. 3, I think you wear your heart on your sleeve, and I think that's one of your best qualities, and it's something that I definitely admire about you, because I am so not that, but I need to be more like that. And you're so good at communicating in that sense and being honest and being upfront. And I think that's why you have such strong relationships in your life, though, is because you're not playing any games. You say it like it is.
Cultivate it. Yeah.
And then, are we on 5 already, or was that 4?
1 more, yeah.
1 more. Okay.
Gas me up, girl. I'm just kidding.
Maybe let me think of like one that's not so heavy. I admire your closet.
Do you?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've never been like a big fashion-y person, but like you like can whip together an outfit. You're always done up. Like you're always presentable. And that's something that I can never achieve. I love a good sweatpant moment, but
see, I watch too much Gossip
You're always
Girl.
done.
Again,
and I think that's
the influences of my youth.
Okay, I done.
Okay, 5 things I love about Jaclyn. Jaclyn, you are the most like zesty person I've ever met, and by that I mean you really light up a room. Like, people love your energy. People love, being around you. You make people happy. Like, you're always there to like make sure everyone has a good time. And you're missed when you're not there. Like, your presence is so noticeable that if you're not there, it's missed.
Wow. This is so sweet.
And then, okay, that's 1. 2, I would actually say your ability to...
Where are you going with this?
No, like to be like sneaky in the best way, but I wish I was like this. Like, Jaclyn is like able somehow to like always kind of manipulate, but I say that in the best way, like a situation for like the better. Like, and and it's like your good energy that gets you there. Like we always say, like you set strong intentions and they're positive. Sure. And whether it's like, whether we should be in that position or not, it's so nice that like somehow you like get us there. Like I love it. I don't know.
Your Juju.
Jaclyn's Juju.
The Jaclyn
Definitely
Juju.
number 2.
Oh my God.
3, I would say like your ability to always welcome people like into your home and your space. Like you're very gracious about like sharing and like making me toast when I need it and giving me coffee and like you're sharing and that's
thanks.
awesome. And your family as well. Where am I? 4. I guess your ability to like share in your experiences. Like I think the podcast has been interesting for us because we're bringing different skills to the table. Obviously your background is YouTube, so the video editing stuff, and you've just been really patient with me, and patience is my least strong suit. So
I feel like
really
I haven't been. I feel like I'm so annoying.
No. And Jaclyn's been very patient in teaching me those skills and sharing in her knowledge. And number 5, I guess I would say, like your unapologeticness to be yourself. Like you're never really trying to be anyone else. You're never trying to like prove anything to anyone.
True.
No, seriously. You just are like, this is me, take it or leave it. Like you might not wear your heart on your sleeve, but I think when people get to know you, they know that you're sensitive and that's all that matters. So.
Oh my God, this is so beautiful. I feel like we just did like a camp, like activity,
one of those,
bonding.
I know.
We're set for the summer.
It's so good.
So there definitely are more sets of questions. How many more? One more set?
Yeah, so there's another set of questions, but I guess we'll end off today with
carry it on to the next podcast. If you tune in, we'll do the final set.
We'll do the final set of questions in the next episode, but for now, roses and thorns of the day.
I feel like those are just roses and thorns. One of my rose will be the way that we set up this podcast. So it's something different, but I think it's fun.
Me too.
Another rose will be that
You met the 1975 last night.
Oh yeah, that was really fun. I had a really cool experience. Again, weird Juju, the weird luck. This wasn't even my fault though. It was just Universal was very gracious and allowed me to go back and meet them, which was super cool because I love the 1975, so that was super fun.
It's also cool to meet artists when you get to watch the performance after and you're like, oh, I just got to meet them.
I'm also always just so fascinated by the whole process of how everything works and like what the before looks like what do they do like an hour before they go on stage. Like I love all of that. Yeah. And I'd never been backstage at that venue before, so it was really cool just to like kind of go on all the different paths and like go to the green rooms, and that was really fun.
A thorn?
A thorn. You know what? My skin's been dry lately. It's like kind of annoying. Yeah. Like I'm getting a little dry on the face.
Interesting. Weather is changing.
Weather is changing. And then my rosebud, I'm looking forward to, I'm going to South Korea in a week. It's going to be really fun.
Very cool.
What about you? Hit me with your roses.
Roses. I guess that I like woke up early this morning and like got things done. That's like the best feeling when you're productive and the day is like, you know, getting there. Another rose I would say is, I would say the way that we just got to like do this episode was different and really fun actually for me. So that was a rose.
I'm excited to hear the feedback and hear what you guys think
me
on
too.
This style of video.
Thorn, I would say, I had to cancel out of my workout tonight just because I decided it was a rest day. Like I was like listening to my body, but I was like, you know what? Like I just, I'm going to take a break. But then the caveat to that, or the rosebud, is that instead, one of my old friends from middle school and I are going to cook dinner. And I feel like it's really nice to like be with friends that have known you for a long time because they ground you, you know? So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, well, this was such a fun episode. I'm so glad we did it this way.
Yes.
I don't know how much shit talking we did this episode, but I'm so glad you tuned into Poddy Talk.
Jaclyn's annoying every day, so that's the shit talk.
Just the general being is that. Anyways, thanks guys so much for watching episode 6 of Poddy Talk, the podcast where we shit talk ourselves. I'm Jack.
And I'm Tor.
And we'll see you guys next week.
See you next week.
Bye.